Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, joined now by John David Baker. We were joking as he came up here. JDB is a name renowned around USC. We always think of John David Booty, a guy who came from the South and came out here, played quarterback at USC. You're another Southern quarterback, and you arrived here last year, and now congratulations, you're sort of a full-time assistant as the tight ends coach. Explain what your role was last year and how it changes this season.
Right. So. About the last 4 years now, I've kind of had the same role with Graham and I. We work really closely, so I've always helped with the quarterbacks and then just kind of day-to-day stuff as far as script and practice, things of that nature, and then was heavily involved in our game plan and stuff, just, kind of the day-to-day operation of the OC.
Coach, talk about your role now in your room. What do you see from the guys? Obviously, you got some old guys now and some young guys, and kind of no in between there. And adding a Jack Erie today. What about your room that you like, and who are some of the guys you're looking for to lead that thing?
Right, we've got a lot of variety in that room. We've got some guys that have played a lot of football. I mean, that's kind of the cool thing. You look at it. You look at Eric Kromenoke. You look at Josh Follow, getting Imatorbhebhe back. I mean, those guys have played a lot of football here, and so the thing for them is just finding how they fit in the offense. Because they're an important part. That's probably a big misconception of the offense that we don't use tight ends, but we actually do. If you look back to what we did at North Texas, our tight end probably played 80% of the snaps that we played in the game. So the more that we can use those guys, the better. And just finding the fit for them and exactly how they're going to work within the offense is our biggest focus right now.
You mentioned Daniel Imatorbhebhe. It's sort of a name from the past for some of us. I mean, he was on such an incredible trajectory. The Rose Bowl season, I remember telling people that's USC's next Mackey Award winner. That's a first-round draft pick in the NFL. And health just really got him, and now he's sort of like Van Wilder. He's like a seventh-year senior coming up. But what do you expect out of him? How did that sort of relationship come back to USC?
I guess it was last fall. It was the first time I kind of saw him walking around. I'm like, who is this dude?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, why is he not out there? So there's a long story to it, but man, we're fired up to have him back, and just now getting him back up in the offices and getting to sit down and meet with him. What an unbelievable kid, and I think he's going to fit perfectly in what we do. I'm really excited to get him out there, get him on the grass this spring.
Talk about the role of tight end. You mentioned it a little bit in Coach Harrell's offense. Obviously, last year we saw a lot of H-back and saw a lot of movement on the tight end. Maybe not a lot of pass catching. Where do you hope to see that role kind of defined and pick up more steam in this season?
Right. When you look at how a defense coordinator tries to plan and game plan for people, he looks at personnel groups,
11.
Breaks it down. And so for us, what we really try and do, we try and stay in 11 personnel as much as possible and try and do as much out of it as possible as well. So when we can get a fullback or an H-back in the game and run all of our run game stuff, but also split them out in a 3-wide and 4-wide stuff and throw the ball still, that makes it really hard on a defensive coordinator. And the other thing is we're not changing personnel so we can play even faster. And that's kind of our biggest deal is being able to play at a great tempo, move that guy all over the field. And if he's a weapon, now that defense coordinator having to account for him every single snap, and you don't know where he's going to be. So that's really where we want to try and get to, and I think we're going to have an opportunity to get to that point.
You mentioned you came over to USC with Graham Harrell, and you were working with him for a few years now. How did that relationship start? Give us a little bit of your backstory with Coach Harrell.
So I met Graham probably back in 2009. I was a freshman in college, and it was his first year with the Green Bay Packers, and so his younger brother and I played together at Abilene Christian, but he was also spending his off seasons in Abilene, and it's kind of funny. We just kind of hit it off. He used to come pick me up from my dorm. We'd go to Sonic and get a drink and drive around Abilene. There's not a whole lot to do there, so we just hung out and we became really good friends. And then I was GAing at ACU when I got done playing, and I'd actually just taken a GA job out at UTEP. And was on my way out there, and he called me about QC job in North Texas, and been together ever since.
Being one of the offensive assistants last year, you got to see the kind of how the offense evolved last year. I thought, maybe partly due to injuries in the running back position. But what do you account for last year being the evolution, losing your quarterback early? Of course, a lot of things factor into that, but it seemed like it evolved throughout the year. What did you see from the offense from an evolutionary standpoint last year?
Right. I really think as you saw the year go on, you really finally got a good picture in those last 4 to 5 games of what it's supposed to look like. And it kind of came all to fruition. in that UCLA game, and then in the bowl game, you got a glimpse of what it was becoming before Keaton went down. But I think our guys just started figuring out and truly believing in the system. There's so much; it's so simple, and I know we talk about that all the time. But the thing about that simplicity is you find beauty and the freedom within that simplicity. And our guys started figuring that stuff out, that the little nuances of the offense where they kind of find their own little niche in it. And you saw that with Keaton. He became more comfortable, but also those receivers finding their fit in it. And, really the biggest jump that you'll see in this offense has been from year 1 to year 2. And so hopefully we can make that jump.
Yeah, that was going to be my piggyback question on that. I've heard Graham Harrell say that as well. So you get your year 2 now. So what changes? Is it simply the comfort level, or where do you see that big jump coming?
Right. I mean, I'll be honest with you. That first year at North Texas, when we installed the offense, we really never got to that point like we did last year in those last 4 or 5 games where you finally saw it clicking like it's supposed to. So that's what I'm excited about, is we actually got to see that jump in that first year. And now going into year 2, I think these guys are going to realize, like, there's not going to be a new installation. There's not going to be all this new plays and stuff. It's going to be the same stuff, and we're going to do it over and over again. We're getting really good at it. And so it's just another year in the system. They get that much better because they get that many more reps at the same stuff.
Really interested in getting those 2 years as Amarillo Venom's quarterback. Tell me about those 2 years, man. What was it? What was your style? Were you running? Were you passing? What was John David Baker's approach at the quarterback position?
Man, I grew up a huge Brett Favre fan, so I was slinging that thing. Right. It didn't matter. That's all I cared about.
I really liked Graham Harrell's answer when he was sort of talking about some of the opportunities. He had some opportunities to go back to Texas, but he was joking about, how his wife and kid, they think they're from L.A. now. So you sound like you're a Texas boy through and through. How are you enjoying life out here in Southern California?
Man, it's hard for me to say because I am from Texas and I'm born and raised Texan, but I love it. And that's the thing. And Graham said it. Yeah, we are from Texas, and we have a lot of pride in where we're from. But the thing about Texans is, we got a lot of pride where we are. And our feet right now are in Southern California, and we're proud to be here. And our goal is to make this place the best place it can be and where it should be. It should be at the top. And that's why we're still here. And that's because we want to be here, and we want to make this place special because it is special. And Graham's had a lot of opportunities, but you see where he's sitting. He's sitting here for a reason.
Obviously, signing day today, and you get Jack Gary. What do you think about the young man you picked up today?
He's versatile now. I mean, he's big. He's a big kid, and when you look at a 6'6", 250-pound kid that can run like he can run, that's the type of versatility we talk about. Being able to line up in the backfield, block counter, block inside zone stuff, but also we can split him out. And now he's running down the seam. He's running verts and all that good stuff. So, we're excited. We're excited how he fits in the offense, and we'll see when he gets here in the summer, get him ready and get him rolling in the fall.
We're excited to see your group this season. As you talked about, really interesting group now. Daniel Imatorbhebhe back in the fold. You've got veterans in Croman, Hoke, and Follow, and then some young guys, Jude Wolfe, Ethan Ray, and now Jack Gary just starting to come along. So really interesting group, and this offense ready to take another jump in year 2 under John David Baker and the rest of the offensive staff. Thanks for joining us. Next up, we're going to meet some of these freshmen. It's the receivers.